Hey YouTube universe, thank you for stopping by here at Comic Grandma. I appreciate you stopping by here and hitting that play button. This is going to be a video for my good friend Brad at H2Vinyl, who just surpassed 350 subscriptions. Brad, congratulations. Thank you so much for all your videos that you put out and for your friendship here in the vinyl community. So Brad is holding a contest. He asked some very great, some amazing questions. So I'm here to answer them. First question that he asked is, show 3 albums that celebrate narration in their albums. The second question is, show 5 albums that you haven't shared with the vinyl community. And the last question is, show or talk about a person or group who you really enjoy but you have 0 albums of. This goes with the theme of 350 subs, so 3 albums for the first question, 5 albums for the second question, and 0 albums for the last question, the 350. So I'm gonna start off sharing the first album that I have narration in, and that's off Megadeth's album, released in 2004, and I'm talking about the song Shadow of Death. So right before the beginning of that song, there is a narration of a Bible scripture from Psalm 23, and the name of the song is Shadow of Death. So basically that scripture talks about someone walking through the shadow of death, that you will fear no evil. I will try to put snippets of the 3 narration albums if I can. Hopefully it won't get blocked. So Brad, if you're not familiar with this album, this is probably one of my favorite Megadeth albums. Released in 2004, and great title. The song is called The System Has Failed. So Megadeth. Another great artist. This is Levi the Poet with his latest album, Cataracts. Levi is a poet, and on this song there is a narration going on a song called Big Business, which features one of my favorite artists, which I have 0 albums of, Jay Gibbons. Jay Gibbons is a rapper. Levi the Poet is a poet. So I'll try to put a snippet of this song.
A depressed, struggling, hungry system, whether it's a family or a church or an organization or an entire nation. All of those are easy prey for. He believes he can deliver the moon. Actually, he thinks he is the moon. He brings hope and promise and light.
The next #1 song that popped in my mind when you mentioned that in your video was Daft Punk, Random Access Memories, and with the song Giorgio Moroder, where there's a narration going on, where there's an interview going on with him. So this was the first one that popped into my mind. I haven't really been watching any of the entries because I didn't want to be influenced, but in case Daft Punk was already used, I thought about this record, which is the music of DC Comics Volume 2, and on this we have different types of music for the comics related to DC, and a couple of songs on here are narrations of the TV shows and radio shows that they had back in the 40s, I believe, 40s, and a couple from the 50s, I believe. So this one is another one that I thought of for that question. So next questions is, show 5 albums that you have not talked about in the VC. I'm going to start with, it's almost like a box set. This is Hot Water Music's kind of collection release that came out last year, and I was able to get a good price on it for Cyber Monday or Black Friday. So this is a gigantic release. It has, I believe, 4 or 5 LPs, and it has kind of like the best of from each of their albums that Hot Water Music has released. So here in every album in red, and the best songs are on there on each record. And this comes in a beautiful give you an idea of what it looks like. That's the band here. Let me show you the other side. Kind of gives you the songs, the lyrics, what album they came out of. So gigantic release. So happy to finally get this. I believe this might be sold out by now. So we're still getting out, recuperating from the cold. So that's one. I'm gonna show you my favorite jazz album as of right now, and that's this record here from the Toshiko Akiyoshi Liu Tabakin Big Band. So they released this album. It's a farewell to Mingus, kind of like a tribute album, and this is one of my favorite records right now. Just powerful and beautiful music, amazing music recorded in 1980. Here's kind of like the personnel of who's on this record, if you're interested. Probably one of my favorite gospel albums that I've heard this month, and that's Little Richard's God's Beautiful City. This album blew me away. I was not expecting everything that I received when listening to this. So the first side, you have this track list of songs. On the second side, you have Little Richard just speaking. It's almost like he was preaching, and just sharing his life story, his testimony. You know, just my wife said he was preaching, so he was pretty much preaching inside too. So that was a really great find. The next album is the Revival Tour. This is from 2011, so it's a collection of recordings from the Revival Tour. This is the track list. And with the Revival Tour is Chuck Reagan kind of has been doing revival tours. I believe they stopped, but what it was is just a collective of musicians from different punk bands, and the lead singers or the frontmen of those bands kind of had a tour where they would go and just perform their solo work. And I believe in one show that I was at, so everybody had kind of like their solo performance, and at the end they end with a big band where everybody just gets together and they do a few songs together. At the show I was at, they did The Weight from the band, and they all took turns singing one of the choruses. It's just a powerful, amazing show. So lots of wonderful music from this guy. If you're interested, this is Dan Andriano from the Alkaline Trio, Chuck Reagan from the Hot Water Music, which I just showed. You have Dave House, and who else has been on there is Dustin Kensrue, and the lead singer from Saves the Day, which his name escapes me right now. The next one you might really enjoy, you might be familiar with this. This is Prefuse 73. This is a wonderful and great release. One Word Extinguisher. I cannot stop saying good things about this album, but it's just an amazing album. Great artwork. Been a big fan of Prefuse 73 for a long time now, and I was really wanting to get something on vinyl from him, and I finally got this release for an amazing price. I believe I paid $2 for this. Beautiful masterpiece from Prefuse 73. I don't think I've ever heard a record from Prefuse that wasn't great. So that's rad. The last question is, talk about a person you really enjoy but you have several albums of, and that would be Paul Banks from the band Interpol. He has released solo work, but I have several of his albums, and he's probably one of my favorite musicians out there. Those are my answers to your questions, Brad. Hopefully you enjoyed them. I'm going to end this video with my comic section, which is the new thing I'm doing for 2020. And for my video, when I was having the contest, you talked about Akira. So today I'm going to share with you Akira on this release. This is the first volume, and I really enjoy Otomo's stuff. This was a groundbreaking novel which turned into a movie, but the book, the series, has so much more than the movie has. Amazing work by Otomo. So if you're not familiar with Akira, go ahead and Google. I believe I saw the movie uploaded onto YouTube. If you're not wanting to sit through and read through 6 volumes of this gigantic work, you can check out the 2-hour movie, which came out in the 80s, and it was a groundbreaking anime movie that kind of set the standard for everything that came out right after that movie. And actually the setting of this novel was interesting because the setting is, this was running back in the 80s, maybe earlier. The setting was 2019, so that was an interesting read. So Brad, hopefully you enjoyed this entry. Thank you for your friendship. I appreciate you. God bless you and blessings upon your life and everything that you do. Hope you're in peace with yourself and peace with others. And I'll see you on the next one. God bless you. See firmes y adelante. I'm feeling high.